It's a new week in the Crew Motorfest, and we have a new summit. This one is called Team Spirit, and this is my summit guide. Let's go. Before we get into it, huge shout out to Simgii for the help on the shortcuts and the lines for this particular video. Appreciate it, man. And you should go follow his channel, subscribe. There's a link in the description down below. Let's get into it, man. The cars for this week. For the Summit bundle, you're getting the FORSBERG Nissan GTR Nismo GT3, which, by the way, this was a Crew 2 exclusive. It's now purchasable in Motorfest, so pick it up for the Summit bundle. And it comes with the IVT Falcon S1000 as well. The additional vehicles you're going to need are the Electric R by Volkswagen in the racing category, the 370Z in the racing category, the BMW Z4 in Rally Raid, the H1 Evo 1 in Rally Raid, and then a Scorebreaker car. The RB14 is what I used with Scorebreaker, Pure, and Skilled. And then you're also going to need Scorebreaker on a rally car, or you could just use a hypercar or a Rally Raid car or any car that works off-road fairly well and that you have Scorebreaker with Pure and Skilled on. Also, remember to check your legend points as well for that one. You want to make sure those are maxed out. Again, Skilled is the biggest one with Scorebreaker set bonus. All right, the keys to the summit is definitely not cheating and using double affixes. I'm going to show you a score with double affixes and a score without right now. This is an example on the slaloms, the difference only being a couple hundred points in the summit points. Now, don't get me wrong, double affixes is a problem, and I think IVT will be fixing it. But this is not the reason you're not getting platinum this week. Making sure that you're taking the correct lines and the shortcuts and following this guide and just optimizing your runs will get you platinum without double affixing. All of my scores in this video, I did not use the double affix glitch. I'm not cheating like that. And to everyone who is cheating, that sucks because it's really just bad for the community and all the console players really can't take advantage of it. But to be honest, this does not matter. The reason you're not getting platinum is because your runs are too slow. That's it. And it has nothing to do with the double affixes. Trust me, the people using it, obviously they're abusing it and it's not right. But just make sure you're optimizing your runs. Just use this guide to the best of your ability. I know it's going to piss a lot of you guys off, but it is the truth. You need to improve at the game in order to get platinum every single week. All right, let's get into this, man. Here are the pro settings for the cars that I just mentioned. All right, so the first event is called Circuit Challenger. For this one, I'm using the Volkswagen Electric R. I found it to be a little bit easier to control, and the NOS management is not complicated at all. It's one single drive gear, and so you can just smash the NOS when you get onto these straights, and I found that to be a lot easier for just the average player. And I'm putting myself in that group, so don't worry too much. So first thing we want to talk about is the start of this race. I have my AI set to the easiest difficulty, which gives me the ability to go around them on the right and then use the first place guy as a way to stay in the corner and take it faster. So around to the right, then bump into this guy and take the corner a little bit faster. Now I want to fast forward to the last lap of this race because it was, I think, my cleanest lap. So let's see here. And, oh, passed it. All right, let's start with this final curve because this is what sets you up for the last lap. This curve, you're going to want to brake to about 140 miles per hour and then completely let off the gas and the brake. Start accelerating again around 125 miles per hour. So let's see what happens. Brake to about 140, let off, start accelerating, and then when you get on the straight, obviously blast your NOS. Your goal is to try to get up to 250 on every time you're on the straight. Now, when you get to these two S corners, this is going to be your braking zone on that second corner. So if we back up just a little bit here, you cut this corner on the right, cut the corner on the left, that's where you start braking, and then use this gutter right here to make this turn. On this lap, I actually don't use the gutter, but I'm able to recover okay and take the next corner. If I did use the gutter, it would put me in wider on the right side of this next turn and allow me to take more speed through the left-hander. So I missed it. Notice the speed drops, and then I have to slow down a lot to take that corner. I did it okay considering that I messed up that gutter. Again, when you get on the straight, blast your NOS. You want to get it close to 230, 235 on that straight. Around this corner, NOS again, get back up to 200. Right-hander, and then slow down again to 140. Start to accelerate around the corner. So, there you go. NOS management is important on this one. Get up to 250 on these straights. All right, let's move on. All right, the next event is called Circuit Pro, and for this one, I'm using the 370Z. This is what all the top players happen to be using this week, but if you don't like it, like I said, you can use the other FORSBERG cars as well. For this one, there's not a whole lot of tricky stuff, but I want to talk to you about a couple of different cuts and resets that you need to know. So nothing tricky on this first straight. Let's fast forward to the end here. This is at about 10-11 seconds in. This red pole right here is gonna be your visual cue to cut in. You want to go between this red pole and these trees on the left. Notice the checkpoint is here. You need to hit this checkpoint or get pretty close to it. If you go to the right of that red pole, you're not going to be able to get that checkpoint. I'll say checkpoint missed. During this section, your goal is to be looking at the yellow flag that's down there in the distance. That's sort of your aiming point. You don't want to hit the building on the left. And then reset right here. Make sure you're turning left when you come out of the reset. Stay wide on this corner. Jump into fifth because it settles the car down off the off-road here. Stay wide. Try to cut in as close to this building as possible. This is going to help your line tremendously. I take this corner in fifth gear. Try to stay on the curb. Accelerate out. Keep turning. Big NOS hit here. Then huge engine braking and slowing down. If you can downshift into third or second, it's going to slow you down a lot. Notice how early I'm turning in. It's because I want to get to this curb and grass. If you can cut like next to this tree, not on the tree, but obviously to the left of it, is going to be your best bet. It's very solid there. There's a little bit of a camber here, so you can actually take it really nicely. Don't worry if you hit the wall. It's not going to slow you down that much for that corner. All right, big NOS getting up to seventh gear here. Stay wide. Again, this corner, you're going to be aiming for these poles on the left. Don't hit the brick wall because obviously that's going to slow you down. And don't worry about a wall tap when you come out of it. Just don't hit it like super hard, you know, try to just tap it real close to the wall. Little wall tap, get wide for this corner. And then this is actually an important part of this lap, is this pole right here. You're going to want to try to stay to the right of that pole. If you hit it, it's okay. It won't be there for the next time you come through. But there's a flat spot like in this area right here, not in the gutter, but like right here, basically. You want to kind of like jump this little gap right here in the gutter. See, I hit the pole, it's no problem. Next time I come through, it won't be there. But that's going to be your best line because it's just way faster and you don't end up going as wide. And the car settles down a lot. On this one, stay wide if you can, then cut back in. I lost traction just a tiny bit, but no problem. No need to cut that corner, but you can if you want to. And the lap is over. I do want to talk about this though, because you're going to be going full speed into this corner. Again, red pole visual cue. Hit the checkpoint, reset. So that's what you want to do. Anyways, let's move on. All right, this next event is called Circuit Dominion, and for this one, we're using the FORSBERG GT3. Let's start out here with my second lap. You're going to be going full speed here. Make sure when you're approaching this second lap, you actually are getting to full speed. You want to get to, you know, the 250 range before you hit that that checkpoint that's ending the lap. And important here, you can go a lot wider here and extend your line to make this little S bend a little bit easier. And I took it in fourth gear. I'm not even sure if I did this well. Yeah, so you can go way more inside on that. I turned in kind of late, but fourth gear works. And control speed for this corner. I used the gutter just a little bit, lost a little bit of traction. That definitely slowed me down. Be patient with your NOS until you get to sixth, then blast it on this one. You want to get to top speed before you get to that S turn, and then continue it here on the top of the hill. Now this is a tricky one. It's a super hard turn. I downshift all the way to second coming into this. Notice by here, I'm already in second. So using engine braking like really hard to slow me down, and plus I'm completely on the brakes here. I found that going through the grass on this corner is a little bit better, but you want to try to keep like at least 1 or 2 wheels on the pavement. So this one through the grass, See, that was a much cleaner way to take that. So that worked out really, really well. Again, blast the NOS here. Nothing tricky. Slow down for this corner. You can cut it inside a little bit. 4th gear turn, just control it. Don't use all your NOS right here. There's no need to. You're gonna have to downshift and take this turn anyway. This is a 4th gear turn if you can. Blast out of it, but don't use all your NOS. Just be patient. Once you clear this turn here, then you can use NOS. On this corner, I downshift to 5th and try to take the gutter. Did it okay there. Held up some pretty decent speed. And then this one is a hard brake and downshift to 3rd. I missed it. You got to brake a little bit earlier for this one. For this turn, it's a right-hander with a little bit of gutter. Try to get in there. Makes it a little bit easier for that turn. And then here's the end of the lap. Make sure you're, again, using all your NOS. Don't blast it until you get to 6, but, you know, tap it. And that's it. All right, the next event is called Dirt Race Challenger. This one's with the Z4. Nothing tricky here off the start, but this first checkpoint, you can actually cut to the left of it and just go through the corn, cut to the left, corn, pineapples. I don't know what they're growing here. Then you can stay to the right of this checkpoint and stay right because you're going to want to cut left through the trees. Cut down and left, go through the trees, pick out this opening right here. It's a pretty big opening to hit, so just get used to, you know, looking for that opening as you come through. Now, you could go more to the left, but there's a reason why you want to go through this one. So, go through here. It keeps you wide enough to make this turn. Notice the checkpoint here is on the left. There's a big brick wall. You need to get over to that checkpoint. And if you're flying through there at a straight line, it's just not going to be the right line in order to get this. Now, I crashed through this. You want to try to avoid it if you can. If you go through it, it is what it is. But you got to get this checkpoint. And you can go wide to the right of it. For this next one, you want to stay to the left, close to that building. Then when you get here, obviously get to 5th and blast your NOS. You want to go as fast as possible through here. Cut left. And this one is important. When you come down off this jump, you're going to want to try to line yourself up with this berm. This is important to get to this berm because this turn is like really difficult. If you try to go on the outside, it takes forever. So you want to cut in, take this berm. I actually floated too much onto the top of it and definitely slowed me down. Now on this one, you want to go wide in between this tree and this sign. I definitely drifted way too much. If you can try to control yourself a little bit better than I did, then you'll be better off. And then you come out of here with some NOS. And that's basically the lap. Rinse and repeat it. All right, the next event is called Dirt Race Pro. For this one, I'm using the H1 Evo 1. Now, this one's definitely going to irritate some people. Only because it's pretty tricky in terms of like the lines you need to take. At the start here, you want to stay as wide as possible. Notice the checkpoint coming up. Cut to the left of this checkpoint. Come down the hill, stay wide, cut back left and go to the left of this jump. NOS in the air to make the jump and cut right. Now this one, I hit the plants and you want to try to not hit those. NOS in the air, downshift to 3rd because you're going to have to take a really tough, hard left-hander. Now it's important here to hit the NOS that's in the air. Stay to the right over here on this hill. NOS in the air, NOS in the air again. NOS in the air again. Stay right, right. Cut left after this tree. And NOS in the air again. Try to stay as far left as possible. This is a very tricky lap. Then right. After this pole, cut left. Okay, and then on up the hill you go. You can cut this flag on the left as well. NOS in the air over these 2 jumps. And you've got yourself a nice fast lap. Try to rinse and repeat that if you can. With that strategy, it actually enabled me to get a 223. So not terrible. It's definitely up there. It's not the best, but it's not the worst. All right, and the last event is called Dirt Race Dominion. Now for this one, there's a few tricky parts. And to be honest with you, my best run, I couldn't even get it recorded. I don't know why it didn't record. I thought I had it, but I'm going to piece together some things with this second lap. I'm going to show you some things that I did wrong on this particular recording, and the game went into maintenance before I could actually get that clip. So anyways, here's what we got. So on this first part, you probably want to downshift into fourth to take this turn. Try to stay as tight to that flag as possible. I went way too wide on this occasion. You can actually go through here in fifth as well. Again, stay tight if you can. Drift this corner. You can use NOS to help you with your drifting. Again, this is not the best clip. I see a lot of problems with it. I'm going too slow. Let's reverse a little bit because you may have missed that. So the track obviously goes to the right here. You're going to want to go to the left of this flag. Make sure you get credit for the flag. And then go to the left of these two poles. You're going to drift it. And reset when you get to that checkpoint flag. Use your NOS in the air for this. Then try to stay to the left as much as possible. There's a little grip section right there. Again, stay to the left. This is actually one that I did very well. Now, this is really important. It's important to get onto this berm very early. Try to get it right when the berm starts. This will help you take this corner like really fast. And it's the same with the other ones. So what you want to do is kind of swing out to the right wide after you take that berm, and then take this jump sort of angled to the left. I tried to do it here, but the car kind of swung back right. And because of that, I overcorrected and ended up going over this berm. But you want to land like left of where I'm at now so that you can get onto this berm really, really early. The earlier you can get onto this berm, the better. You're going to take this corner really fast. If you land and have your left front and left rear tires on that berm. But notice how I land, and now I'm going at a wrong angle and I fall off. That's really not what you want to do. I'm going to back up to the first lap because I actually did that a little bit better on the first lap. Not much. So see, I'm still really, really wide. You want to try to land on this left side over here. Anyways, I was going a little slower, so I was able to control myself through this berm. Almost went over again. Now on this part, cut left of this palm tree. I didn't do it. I'm really mad actually that I didn't get the right clip because I had this really clean coming through here. You want to go to the left of this palm tree, and I ended up drifting around to the right, which sets me up really, really bad for this other turn. Notice how slow I'm going, 77 miles per hour through here. It's just not fast. Anyways, stay to the left of this jump and blast your NOS. You can actually clear that water if you stay to the left. Again, blast NOS in the air. It's important to use your air NOS, especially with this vehicle. It's pretty important. It's pretty powerful, actually. But anyway, that's your lap. Sorry I had to piece that together. I really wish I had a better clip, but the game's in maintenance mode and can't really do anything about that. All right, here are the feats, and then we'll get into the final scores and we can end the video. All right, and here are my final scores. Remember guys, you can send me a DM with any questions you might have. I know this week was a little bit strange. We've got the double Affix thing happening. We've got a pretty lackluster reward for this week, but if you're playing and you find this thing helpful, please let me know in the comments. I do appreciate all the nice comments I've been getting, especially, you know, the direct messages that say that how much my channel has helped. I really appreciate everyone who takes the time to write that to me, and I do read them. So anyways, thank you guys so much. I will catch you on the next one. Trigger out.